question. Are you a book adaptation purist, or do you understand that movies and shows are not books?
Because today we're talking about people we meet on vacation, a book people are emotionally attached to, and the screen adaptation that said, oh, what if we changed a lot?
And before you get mad, yes, Emily Henry herself agreed to the changes.
Today we're breaking down the people we meet on vacation book versus the movie, what Hollywood changed and why, what actually works better on screen than on the page, and whether this adaptation deserves jail time or a rewatch.
By the end, we're giving it our official Book Bits and Chills scores, adaptation, casting, and overall verdict.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so do you think that a lot of people read People We Meet on Vacation before this movie came out?
I think so, because I think it's a very popular summer read, summer romance read, from what I've seen.
Emily Henry herself has a massive following. I think she's become
Yes.
a face of like rom-com romance books, and it was
Yes.
about time that one of her books became a movie.
I would agree. I have been desperately waiting for this moment, and I'm honestly glad that they started with this book out of hers, because in my ranking of Emily Henry books, it's not even close to the top, but I enjoy the stories. I was like, okay, I'm not going to be like heartbroken if they don't absolutely crush this.
That's very true. And this story specifically follows a girl and guy friends to lovers story, where they're traveling the world to different destinations and their relationship develops over time. And I think that the backdrop of like travel and wanderlust is just perfect for a movie.
I would agree. I also feel like romance readers are very protective of their source
Hmm.
material because we all get so attached and emo over our favorite characters. And
100%.
so now that this has been adapted for the big screen, we are going to get into a lot of spoilery content. So if you have not read the book and you want to, or you've not seen the movie and you want to stop here and come back.
Okay, let's define the two type of book adaptation viewers slash readers. So we have a camp of purists and a camp of sympathizers.
Hmm.
I myself fall in the purist camp, where I literally want the movie or show to be a screen for screen, word for word adaptation.
Okay, I am not that. I'm like literally not even close to that. I am shocked when they do that, to be honest with you. Like, I think that that is just such a feat. And when they can do it and pull it off and do it so well, I'm like, fucking bravo. That's amazing. But
Hmm.
like, that is literally never my expectation because I think that I just, I know all the movie magic that goes on behind the scenes. I'm
It's
like, there's
true.
so much that has to come together for this to be like perfectly adapted. And there's so many changes that need to happen to like bring something to a screen that I'm just like, I don't know. I never go in expecting like word for word dialogue or like exact character versus what was in the book, like all of these things. So I think I am a big time sympathizer.
I'm a very imaginative reader, which we've talked about this before. Like, I think of large imagery when I'm reading. And so I've
Yeah.
already made this movie 3 times in my head. So the actual movie that's created needs to live up to that.
Oh, okay. Is that even a purist? I don't even know what that is.
A narcissist.
That's just literally you think that you are the director of Titanic, of Avatar.
All
You
right,
are
James
James Cameron.
Cameron. Yeah, James Cameron, give me a call. I already know how this needs to be done.
But I do think a lot of romance readers, like I said, fall into this camp of being purists
Yeah.
because, which I am interested in, like, what the things are that we hold on to realistically. Because to me, my big thing was like, I want to make sure that Poppy and Alex's emotional connection and their romance and all of that stuff was kept really whole and was done really
Mm,
well. But, like, I don't give a fuck that Poppy's hair was brown in the movie and blonde in the book, like, whatever. So, like, I'm
yeah.
just interested in, like, what we as romance readers are, like, so attached to and why we get so fired up when it doesn't happen.
I will get into that when we talk about what changed from book to movie, but it's not even about like the imagery per se. It's like the emotional, like character buildup, like what goes into that character and how they come together, that specifically in romance books, I feel like is so important. Like you need both characters' full backstories. Do you know what's really big for Emily Henry readers specifically is the
What?
ranking of the FMCs and the MMCs. Like all the
Yeah,
time online, you see people being like, Gus is the top MMC from Emily
yeah,
Henry.
and
And so
she ranks them too.
yeah, so I do think that specifically for Emily Henry romances, people are very serious about the two main characters.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah, and if we're gonna get into the movie, then let's get into it, Cassie.
Okay,
Let's
look,
talk about what's changed from book
why
to
am I
movie,
afraid?
and I'm angry.
God, here we go. Speaking of insufferable.
So, honestly, the first thing that really pissed me off happened in the first 2 minutes of this movie, and it may be why I never recovered. And so, this is a light spoiler, but in the book for People We Meet on Vacation, the whole backdrop is that David's wedding is in Palm Springs. So, Poppy and Alex are on a trip to Palm Springs, not
Yep,
freaking Barcelona.
right?
Why did it need to be Barcelona? Why couldn't it be Palm Springs?
I actually have no idea. I genuinely, that is something that I will not be able to ever explain. Like maybe they had to do it for like the set reasons. I don't know because it's not like we like saw a bunch of Barcelona in the
No.
movie. Like they weren't going like sightseeing in Barcelona.
No, not at
There was no
all.
one who was like destined to go to Barcelona because they've always wanted to go since they were a kid. Like it didn't make any sense. I would agree with that.
And also in the book, Poppy doesn't get sent there by her job. She
Right.
decides to take like a week off of vacation and she has to pay for it herself. And in a
Yep.
very realistic way, she's a magazine writer in New York City, so she doesn't have a lot of money. And
Yep.
they end up in a very cheap, like disgusting motel together. And this freaking Airbnb in Barcelona looked like it was from Architectural Digest.
Here's my question though. Like, is that like a niche thing that you felt that you needed in the movie?
I did mind them not being in like the cheap motel because again, that's like the character backstory. Like
Yeah.
Poppy was so desperate to go on this trip with Alex and she was
Yep.
so desperate to make it happen that she like got this trip together and was willing to stay in this disgusting motel, and so was Alex because
Yeah.
they just wanted to be together and nobody was saying it out loud.
And they couldn't say it.
And they couldn't say it.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's a huge change, a massive decision that I don't fully understand why they made the change on. But
Yeah.
it didn't really bother me because I don't know, they still had the AC issues in Barcelona.
He literally, like, touched the AC unit, like, one time and was like, "Oh, it's broken," and then one time she was sweaty when she woke up. Other than that, I'm like, "Why are you guys drinking hot coffee? It's 95 degrees in here. Get an iced coffee."
Yeah, that's fair. I thought something that was interesting in that was that the like way that they built up their friendship, I actually thought they did a good job of in the
Mhm.
movie, but there were certain parts of their like trauma bond that were missing,
Yeah.
and I felt like they highlighted Poppy's pretty well, where it's like she was just never accepted for who she was. But for Alex's, his mom passed away,
Mhm.
and that was a big kind of like formative thing of why he was so like anal type A, like
Yeah.
shy, all of these things because he had to like take care of his brother. His dad was kind of like absentee. And I feel like that wasn't really highlighted very much in the movie.
Not at all, and I didn't like that because in the book, it makes you feel for Alex and understand why he wants to settle down so much and he's not into this lifestyle that Poppy's into and why they would never work as a couple. But
Yeah,
when they don't show that in the movie, it just comes off that he's just like kind of like nerdy and like
yeah,
a wet blanket.
yeah. I live on his vacation, Alex.
Yeah, which like is fine for the movie. It's just very different than what the book was.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I did think that that was odd that they made that choice to, like, omit that from his story.
Yeah. And then a big one that I understand because, again, it's a 2-hour movie, but they cut the number of trips down massively.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like, that didn't bother me because I think that the ones that they focused on were the, like, pivotal trips and, like, the pivotal moments to where they got to in their relationship.
No, I agree. I liked the ones that they picked, and I'm glad they picked them. And again, like, I understand it's a 2-hour movie. You're not gonna be able to fit, like, 10, 10 trips in. But if you're gonna cut trips, why are you changing one of the trips to Barcelona? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
She's really just knocking over Barcelona.
I actually am gonna never be allowed into Barcelona because I'm so mad.
To the people of Barcelona, I love your city. I will go there anytime for a wedding instead of Palm Springs, California, just so you know. One thing that was changed, that was a huge change that the fandom has been, up in arms about, as we all
Yeah.
do, was the ending. And I feel
Yes.
like when I read it, I actually didn't love the ending of the book.
I remember that. You hated the ending. You were like, "That was, like,
Yeah.
so drab."
Yes, it was. I actually
Yeah.
loved how the ending happened in the movie. Like, I kinda loved that they changed it, but people didn't like it.
So, in the book, they, like, end up in, like, a dive bar in Ohio, and she, like, goes to the high school to try to find Alex,
Yeah.
and you were like, the dive bar setting for, like, the end of their massive romance was just not it. I think it was, like, the
They were
parking lot.
literally in the parking lot.
Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna say. They're, like, fighting for their love in the fucking parking lot, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, why are we here, Emily Henry? What have you done?" So I
Yeah.
actually really appreciated that change for the movie.
I did too, but I also saw online that people were like, "That city was absolutely not suburban Ohio," and it took me out of the reality of the moment.
It really wasn't. I was like, "Are we in, like, Charleston, South Carolina? Like,
Seriously,
what
somebody
is happening?"
somebody said that they know for a fact that that's New Orleans. They were like, "That is, like,
Yeah, or
central
New
out in New
Orleans.
Orleans." Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It was very, like, Southern architecture where I was like, "This is" listen, I have been to Ohio many a time, and that
Yeah.
ain't Ohio,
No,
okay?
it's not. And, like, to your point, we didn't even see much of Barcelona throughout this whole movie. It's like they could have had their reunion in the Sagrada Familia.
The Familia, the Sagrada Familia.
You know? Like, give Barcelona something.
For the people of Spain, I'm so sorry.
Tell us how you really say it, Cassie.
Sagrada Familia.
Sagrada Familia. Like, they should have
There you
had a
go.
moment, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. One thing, though, that I did love was the casting of the characters.
Oh, yeah.
They crushed that shit. Emily Bader,
Yeah. My
the woman
God.
that you are. Literally, Emily and I are obsessed with her. There's so many Emilys involved right now. I'm like, Emily
Emily.
Henry,
Yeah.
Emily Bader, BBC Emily's. So anyways, Emily Bader, Emily and I have loved her since she was in
Mhm.
My Lady Jane. Like, we are full stans. And
Yeah.
she did such an amazing job with Poppy. Like, the energy that she brought, she was
Yeah.
so funny. Like, she was genuinely making me laugh so hard. But then she delivered on all of the emotional moments really
Yeah.
perfectly. Like, I just 10 out of 10. She was
Her
amazing.
range of emotion was crazy. And
Yes.
it was such a
Yes.
weird thing that she pulled off of, like, getting the quirks, but, like, making you want to be
Yeah.
her.
Do you remember that I actually hated Poppy in the book?
Yeah, and I did, and
I
I loved her.
loved her in the movie. Emily, like, sold me on Poppy
Yeah.
entirely. Like, I am a Poppy stan now after that.
When we read the book, I was like, I would literally travel with her, and you were like, not for me.
No, no chance. Sorry. Alex, Tom Blythe is Alex.
Yeah.
I will stand on a hill and scream for her. He was so perfect. Like,
Yes.
he had just like the perfect pathetic eyes for Alex
Yeah.
too, where it was just constantly like puppy dog. And I was like, oh my God, I fucking love this man. But he was also really good at comedy. Like, he really
Yeah.
delivered on the funny moments really well. He was so convincingly like uptight as shit, but then like
Mhm.
when he would let loose, like I found myself like rooting for him. Like, I
Yeah.
thought he did such a great job.
No, you're right. His range was also really good. I think just next to Emily Bader, it was like a step down because she did so good. But
I mean,
his was very good. Looks the part too. Like, he looked
yeah,
in the face like what you would expect that person's personality, but then he
yeah.
was hot in the body.
Oh man, hot in the body, hot
Hot
in the
in the
face.
The only thing I couldn't stand is there are a couple scenes where I was like, whoever did the hair for this movie, like, used a box dye on Alex that was a little too intense.
Did not notice.
Like, there were times where it was, like, leaning, like, blackish blue hair, like, it needed to fade a little bit, it was too fresh out of the box.
Okay, you know what? I loved them 2 together. Like, I thought that they had the most fantastic chemistry. Like,
The
I thought that
chemistry was so good.
they delivered on the romance so well. Like, in this way where I was like, am I watching Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson right now? Like,
Yeah.
they are just meant to be opposite each other, and I thought that they did such a beautiful job.
I knew the chemistry was gonna be good, like, 10 minutes into the movie when they're at the diner on their road trip home from college, and Poppy's
Yeah.
like, "So what do you think about traveling now?" And he's like, "I think I love traveling." And he's, like, giving her a
Oh,
little look, and I was like, "My god, these 2 have got it going on."
got it going on. Which I also really liked seeing Alex come to life visually in particular. I think a lot of times when we read these like grumpy, bookish, shy MMCs in books, like it kind of gets redundant and a little bit boring. Like I think that seeing him in the movie made him a little bit more swoony for me, where I was
Yeah.
like, oh, like he's kinda got it going on. He's
No, I
crushing it.
agree. I think we both said he was kind of irritating in the book.
Yeah. Like it's just like
Yeah.
stop complaining. Poppy's just trying to have fun.
Yeah, and if you don't have Tom Blythe's eyes to look into while he's being irritating, it's less cute.
True. True. If you're not swimming in Tom Blythe's eyes for 2 hours.
So, all of these changes were made for a reason, and that reason was
Mm.
Hollywood, the city of stars.
Hollywood, baby.
And we did a little research on how book to screen adaptations get here and how the
Yeah.
author is a part of these and why they ever agree.
I thought that Emily Henry's place in this adaptation was well done, to be honest. Like, I think that if she was a screenwriter, for example, or if she was like I think she was literally an executive producer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they call
Um,
them. That's what they call the writers when they like are allowed to like have a say in the casting and they're allowed to
yeah.
demand certain things. They're called an executive producer.
Yeah, and I feel like she was in the perfect spot because she, in my mind, again, as someone who forgot most of the book, she protected the things that were so core and like at the front of my mind from the book in the movie. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's why it delivered for me. But who knows? For the purists, they probably wanted to make sure that she was in every chair, the director's chair, the writer's chair, the producer's chair,
she
Emily's chair.
Yeah, why didn't she write the script? I will say one thing that I will agree with, which this is kind of like a Hollywood book to screen adaptation must, is like you can't get the internal monologue of the character who's narrating
Right.
the book onto the screen.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And I also think like something that she's said is that the book itself is complete. Like the story is done. It's good where it is. Like that's all she wanted out of that. This movie is intended to be this new version of the story, but not necessarily a replacement.
Yeah.
Which for me, I'm like, then maybe don't market it as an adaptation realistically.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, like, I understand her perspective on that because it's a standalone romance and she wrote it start to finish. So she's like, there's nowhere else to take it.
I actually saw the woman that is producing Wuthering Heights put out a clip recently
Yeah.
that was like, I put Wuthering Heights in quotations because this
Yeah.
is not a book to screen adaptation. This is me loving that book and
Yep.
creating this movie. And I think all book to screen adaptations should have quotes on them, and that might make me feel better.
Every single one. Emily needs the fine print under every single adaptation.
Or,
I do think it's interesting too because I kept seeing people being like, it should be a show. It should have been a show instead of a movie. And
oh,
I could not disagree with that more. I think that, and maybe I would have thought differently if I hadn't watched Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell and Adam
mhm.
Brody. But I just think a rom-com in a series is so difficult to get right beyond season 1.
I could agree with that. I do agree with that, but I can see where the audience is saying it should be a show because how perfect would it be that each episode was a different destination?
Yeah, I mean, that would be beautiful. But again, make it a different thing than the book, to your point. Like, make it
Yeah,
a completely different title, whatever, because then it'll have room to breathe beyond wherever you end season one, you know?
that show you just said, the Kristen Bell one, absolutely should have
Yeah.
been a movie.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I finished season 2 this year or last year, and I was like, "What happened here? Oh, yeah, it shouldn't have been a show."
Yeah, and Wicked should have been one part. I mean,
Ah!
we're getting carried away. Back to
She's dropping
Hollywood.
bombs! Take us back to Hollywood.
Take us back to Hollywood. I'm gonna get
Before we get
canceled.
put in jail. Oh my God. So yeah, I don't know. I get why Emily Henry was on board with it. I think again, she kept the things like I think she had said that she had like a must include list going
Mhm.
into it where she was like these specific things like need to be included. And I liked the things that she did pick, like the privacy scare, for example. Like I
Yeah.
thought that they delivered on that really well. And I actually liked seeing that visually too. And then obviously like the kiss in the rain with the
Yeah.
like cutting of the
The plastic
plastic.
sheets. That was
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. So I don't know. I liked it in that regard.
I also think that, and I would be exactly the same way, that Emily was just trying to get her bag. If I was a freaking book writer and a giant studio was like, I want to adapt your book, but I'm going to change 30% of it, I'd say, go ahead and write me that check. Her book sales just quadrupled.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
it was a smart money move for Miss
It was
Emily
smart.
Henry.
If you're bringing something to a big screen, there are a lot of things that just will not translate from a book. And there are a lot of things that do translate even better from a book, too.
So now in the
Okay.
reverse, Uno reverse.
Oh,
Since you loved the movie so much, like, were there certain things in the movie that you thought were better than the book?
yes, absolutely. So the book is from Poppy's POV. We never get Alex's POV.
Right.
And I kind of liked in the movie that they made it seem like Alex was the one who fell first a little bit.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
that Poppy was like more behind versus in the book, Poppy realizes that she's in love with Alex when they're in Sanibel Island, which is like very
Mhm.
early on in the book. So I really liked that aspect of it. I liked the on and off nature that they brought to Alex and Sarah's relationship, that like every time they were on a trip, it's like, oh, they just got back together, they just broke up, which they didn't do as much of, or Emily didn't do as much of in the book.
Sarah as a character I never liked, and
Yeah,
I definitely didn't like her in the book. I liked her a little bit more in the movie. I think they gave her
I
like a
agree.
little bit more oomph, and I'm like, okay, I understand this woman a little bit more. In the
Yeah.
book, I actually just really strongly disliked her.
They just, she was such a like pick me in the book in the
Yeah.
worst way. And yeah, I totally agree. I did not like her. But in the movie, I felt like I could actually empathize with her because I was like, this is a tough scenario that you're in. I also liked that they saved their first kiss in the movie for the rain scene
Mhm.
versus in the book, it's in Croatia.
Yeah. That is true. That was a good turnaround because it made the kiss so much bigger in that huge, big emotional moment. Where in the
Yes.
book, they have that big emotional first kiss, and then the like later big emotional moment happens.
Yep.
It's like it happened twice, and it didn't feel as big in the book.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I feel like when it happened the second time in the book, it's like that's when they're like professing their love to each
In the
other, which
parking
makes
lot.
sense in the parking lot. I'll never get over that. But I liked in the movie how it felt like all of the buildup was to that big moment. And then you get that payoff and you're like, yes.
I agree. You know what actually made me gasp in this movie, though, which I don't remember how it happened in the book, but Sarah and Alex's engagement in Italy,
Yeah.
where I literally, my jaw was dropped.
Yeah. No, I loved the placement of it in the movie. I thought it was perfect. And I
It,
genuinely gasped out
I was
loud.
also just like cringing, like it just hurt so bad to
Oh,
watch.
yeah. It was a dagger to the chest.
Yeah, and
And poor
again,
Sarah's so excited. I was like, oh God.
and it again gives Alex a little bit more emotional depth. Like you can tell he's
Yeah.
really, really trying to make Poppy mad, which I liked.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I liked.
Because
Dramatic Alex.
she kind of did deserve it a little bit.
She did. She did. She kind of fucked with him when they were
Yeah.
in the parking lot. What do you know? The parking lot of the Farmacia in Barcelona.
Sagradia Familia.
It just gets more and more Sopranos. Yeah. Sagradia
La
Finalia.
Familia.
And the Familia.
Pharmacia.
My God. Okay. I think that we need to give our movie scorecard. So this will be a new part of this segment where we talk book to screen adaptations.
Mhm.
And we will be talking about our score for the total adaptation, what we think of the casting and the chemistry, the fact that it's a standalone versus a series, and our overall verdict. So let's start
Okay.
with our book to screen adaptation score. I think I know what the Purist is going to say.
I will actually I will give it a 3
Really?
because, yeah, 3 books
Oh,
because they did get the chemistry and the Poppy and Alex right, and that is a huge pillar of it.
yes, I agree. I was going to maybe give it a 2. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, wait, Purists?
I mean, I thought we were really going to bond over that, so I'm shocked.
Actually, completely changed human after hearing that score.
I agree. It's the Poppy and Alex dynamic, the emotional connection, their romance, I thought was done perfectly. The casting was done perfectly. But everything else I think was just so different that I'm like, I can't even think about it further than
Yeah.
that, you
It's
know?
like the puzzle pieces were there, but then it was like my 5-year-old nephew was doing the puzzle. That's
Correct.
kind of how it felt.
Yeah, I agree. For casting and chemistry, I am gonna give it a 5 because, again, I thought it was just so well done and so spot on. I just, like,
Yeah.
actually can't get over it.
I agree. Molly Shannon as the mom, we
Oh
didn't
my
even
god.
speak about that. Amazing. The guy from Emily in Paris as her douchey British boyfriend in Tuscany,
Yes.
amazing. Like, the
Yes.
casting, even in the side characters, was so good.
And, Lucas Gage was in it, like,
Oh,
the, like,
yeah.
douchey boat driver.
Yes. I
The
was like,
guy
what?
from Succession, who's, like, one of the brothers, played the dad. Like, there was just so many, like, heavy hitters in this movie, where I was like, "Whoa, why are these people so perfect for this?"
But
Oh
if
my
we're
god.
thinking about it as a standalone rom-com, Miss
Yeah,
Rom-com purist over there, what are we
yeah.
thinking?
I would give it a 5. I really don't think that you need to read the book to enjoy this movie. In fact,
No.
don't read the book so that you can enjoy the
Yes.
movie.
That was what I
I
said.
I think if you never read the book, this is an amazing movie. Like, I've had multiple of my friends text me and be like, "This is my favorite romance movie I've seen in a long time."
Yeah.
So I think it's a fantastic standalone, and I feel like people are gonna be rewatching it, like, all year.
Well, so that's why I'm giving mine a 4 with an asterisk because I didn't want to rewatch it. I was like, that was a really good movie. That was so cute. I just don't know that I'm going to rewatch it.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe it's because I read the book.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think so too.
So
Like,
that's why I give it a 4.
I think if you hadn't read the book or you read the book literally like when it came out in 2022 or you just forgot everything that happened, like this would like I would genuinely rewatch that movie and like really enjoy it.
I will update you if I ever rewatch.
Well, I think if you are not typically a purist and you enjoy just the vibes and maybe you want more out of the movie, like you love the movie so much and you hadn't read the book, like you should read the book. And I think it would be a really fun time. But I
Yeah.
think if you are someone who has freshly read the book and you are a purist, do not watch the movie with high expectations. So I think that brings us to who do we feel like this movie is for? Who do we think is going to be disappointed? And also, what do we think that this signals for future romance movies? Because again, I'm like,
Ooh.
does this mean that rom-coms are back? Like, does it mean that we all are going to signal to Hollywood that we want more? We want some
Yeah,
more?
I think so.
I think if you also really love a lot of the like early 2000s rom-coms, you're really going to
Mhm.
love this because it was just giving that energy and that vibe.
You remember when Sarah Michelle Gellar and like Freddie Prince Jr. were in everything?
Yeah,
That's what I need again. I need that. I need Emily Bader to just literally be in a rom-com once a year.
please. Do
Yeah.
this public service for us. Well, I think that wraps this up. I think you all kind of know which camps Emily and I are in. But regardless, if you love a rom-com, I think you would have a good time with this. Well, I think next week we are going to be doing a little look back on the month. We're going to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about what we read, what we watched, what we loved, what we hated, all of the things so that you guys know what you should add to your list of things for the rest of the year. So I'm
Yep.
really excited for that because there is a lot of shit that I feel like I've consumed recently that
Yeah.
has been blowing up, and I'm not really sure that I actually like it.
I feel like I absorbed a lot of media this month and I am ready to
Yeah.
go down the list. But if
Yeah.
you liked this book to screen adaptation type of episode and you want us to do more, please like, comment, and subscribe. It's what keeps us going. It's what keeps us fueled. So please help us out.
Fuel our fire. Please give us also a review if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, wherever you're listening. Go up to where there's a star and click on that. And please give us whatever you want. But also, if you want to give us a 5, that'd be great.
Whatever
Yeah.
you want, but give us 5 stars. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see you same time, same place. Bring your blankets, bring your book boyfriends, and we'll see you then.
See ya.